Let's face it, celebrities have a reputation for losing it. Some even have one meltdown after another. They can be funny to watch or read about online, but what exactly happens in their mind when they freak out? Is it simply a public breakdown for attention, or could there be something more serious happening behind closed doors? Christian Bale. The video of the Christian Bale meltdown on the set of Terminator Salvation is just one example of an actor losing his temper. In this case, Bale was directing his rage at a cameraman named Shane Hurlbut. The video of this incident went viral and has been viewed over 3 million times on YouTube alone. Bale was shooting the 4th installment of the sci-fi series when he lost his temper over what he called a litany of things, including Hurlbut moving his camera while Bale was talking to co-star Bryce Dallas Howard and started swearing at his colleagues. The Oscar winner later apologized, but when he turned nasty again at 3:30 a.m., crew members has had enough and called security guards who took him into a mental hospital. Tranquilizers were prescribed for Christian Bale, and he was taken to the hospital where he was diagnosed with extreme exhaustion by the attending physician. He later said that he was a bit delirious at the time of the incident. It became clear that Bale had suffered extreme mood changes that resulted in his having to be admitted for psychiatric care. He later apologized for his behavior. Mariah Carey. Carey's meltdown was not just her first major public breakdown, but also one of the most memorable celebrity meltdowns of all time. In 2001, the singer was on top of the world. She had just won a Grammy for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance for her song Hero. Her debut film Glitter was about to be released, and she was on the cover of multiple magazines at once. It looked like she had it all, and then everything fell apart. When Carey went on MTV's TRL to promote Glitter, things did not go according to plan. The singer began to ramble incoherently and then took off her clothes and passed out a plate of popsicles to host Carson Daly. A few days later, she checked herself into a mental health facility in Connecticut where she stayed until early August 2001. Carey later revealed that she had suffered from bipolar disorder and clinical depression since she was 19 years old, but didn't seek treatment because she feared it could end her singing career. Mel Gibson. You won't like him when he's angry. The actor's career has been in a downward spiral ever since a 2006 DUI arrest, which he attributed to the fact that he was taking sleep medication. But it wasn't just the alcohol that landed him in a bad situation. After being arrested, Gibson was caught on tape saying hateful anti-Semitic rants at a police officer during his arrest. In 2009, his wife Oksana Grigorieva revealed that Gibson had made several racist remarks to Grigorieva before the relationship turned violent. Gibson, who is now a devout Christian, did apologize for his behavior and has made efforts to show his sincerity by making donations to Jewish and African American groups. Robert Downey Jr. If you had to choose one word to describe Robert Downey Jr., what would it be? How about genius? For years, the man who plays Tony Stark in the Iron Man films was also a super successful actor, appearing in films like Chaplin, Zodiac, and The Singing Detective. He won an Academy Award at age 5, has been nominated for 3 other Oscars, and is generally considered one of the most talented men working in Hollywood today. But he started to act carelessly, and things got worse when he married his second wife, Deborah Falconer. Downey's use of illegal substances began to impact his work. He couldn't remember lines during acting and was described as difficult to work with. He had another meltdown, this time attempting to take his own life. While in a coma from taking too many pills and vodka, a doctor warned his family that Downey would never be the same if he survived. When he recovered, the actor entered rehab once more, this time for over a year. His career hit rock bottom in 2006 when he was fired from the set of the film The Singing Detective. His performance as Charlie Chaplin in that film remains unreleased to this day. He started his comeback role in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, but his big break came when director Jon Favreau offered him the title role in 2008's Iron Man. Downey's name and character were enough to attract Marvel Studios, which had been struggling to bring its comics characters to the screen. His portrayal of Tony Stark won him rave reviews, as well as several awards, including a Golden Globe Award. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise doesn't like to talk about his personal life, and he's not a big fan of paparazzi. In 2000, 2005, the world got to see a different side of him. Tom Cruise's image was damaged when he jumped up and down on the couch. It seemed strange when he did it, but it wasn't just that moment that ended up hurting his image. It was also the fact that he is a member of the Church of Scientology, which many people see as a crazy religion, and also some of the things he has said in interviews, like how psychiatry doesn't work because it is not science, and how his daughter was so smart because she was raised without medication. The way he says these things comes across as arrogant to many people. The main reason Cruise's image is negative today is not because of the couch jumping incident, but because he's seen as a member of a crazy religion and for saying things that are hard for many people to believe. Even though he's been declared America's favorite movie star in polls, ranking #1 for 10 straight years from 1995 to 2004, thing is, Cruise hasn't topped another poll since 2006. Lindsay Lohan. The Parent Trap's actress was a well-known party girl who partied a lot with Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. Unfortunately, she couldn't keep it together, which led to several DUIs and other run-ins with the law. In 2009, Lindsay Lohan went to court on charges of DUI and illegal substance use. But this wasn't the first time that she had run into trouble with the law. Her first time was in 2004 when she was charged with stealing a $3,000 necklace from a jewelry store in New York City. She pleaded guilty to the crime and received 3 years probation and 480 hours of community service. She's had alcohol issues and legal issues, and the list of her troubles goes on and on and on. But every time she seems to turn a corner, something happens that knocks her off track. Is she an innocent victim of circumstance? Or is there something more going on? What do you think? Britney Spears. Spears first made headlines when she shaved her head, but it was her erratic behavior that got people talking. In March of 2007, Britney had a meltdown of epic proportions. She shaved her head, went out partying with Paris Hilton, and was photographed without any underwear on. Though those incidents were widely publicized, the biggest event from that month was when she crashed her car into a light pole. That night, Spears fled the scene and failed to notify the police. She didn't show up for court and was charged with 2 counts of hit and run. Spears was later sentenced to 3 years probation, as well as psychological testing and community service hours. After several years of controversy and naughty public behavior, Spears returned to the top of record charts with her 6th studio album, Circus. She released her 7th studio album, Femme Fatale, in 2011. On November 13, 2013, Spears scored her 8th #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100 with Work Bitch. Kayne West. Kanye West went on quite a rant during the 2009 MTV VMAs, which received more than 6 million views on YouTube. His outburst was prompted by the fact that Taylor Swift had won an award for Best Female Video, while Beyoncé's video for Single Ladies, starring Beyoncé and her all-female backup dancers, had been nominated but lost. The tension between the two artists has since cooled off, but there is still some bad blood between Swift and West. Kanye West later dealt with the consequences of his infamous run-in with Taylor Swift. The rapper was performing at the SXSW Music Festival in Texas when a fan threw a shoe at him. He stopped mid-song to plead with fans not to throw shoes again. In response, another fan threw a bottle at him. West completely lost it and jumped off the stage and started walking through the crowd to find the person who had thrown it. Celebrity meltdowns might be fun to watch, but they're just a result of being overworked. We'd like to believe that they aren't immune from mental health issues, but they are just like us. They just get photographed a lot.